Hey everyone, welcome back to the Might and Magic 6 Completionist Run. In this episode, we are gonna go into the Supreme Temple of Ba. Let's just check our buffs. They seem to be all in good shape. Let's just go straight in.
Uh, where are we?
One thing I should mention is that usually my practice in this series has been to not look up dungeons ahead of time and to only start looking things up after I've already done one pass through the dungeon. But in this case, I did look up one thing ahead of time, one very specific thing. So I know the general shape of this dungeon. The main reason was I needed to know where one specific thing was on the map. And once we get to that thing, I think you'll understand why I felt the need to look it up. And I think you'll agree that I did the right thing in looking it up. So, this here is the Supreme Temple of Ba, and it shouldn't be surprising that it's filled with these dudes. Acolytes, clerics, and priests of Ba.
Got it.
And apparently chests with garbage for loot, but that's okay. And really, we're just gonna do the same thing we've been doing, which is to this is our save from last episode. Let's save here. Which is to just go through as much of it as we can, do our exploration, and hit switches, find keys, all that good stuff. But here's something interesting. A cylinder, I mean, that's what the game calls it.
We've got to get out of here.
If we go over it, you'll notice that it's
we
a
need to leave now.
teleporter, very similar to what we had in Castle Alamos. And let's just see where this takes us. I set a beacon just in case there isn't a return teleporter, but I
Let's get out of here.
think there should be. Where does this put us? It puts us in the Freehaven sewers. And indeed, it looks like there is a return teleporter, so that's good. There's also a secret door. And this, incidentally, completes our exploration for the Freehaven sewers. That's a neat little secret. Not really a secret because it's one of the first things you find when you come to this area, but nonetheless, it's a pretty cool little thing. And another bit of fast travel that you can rely on if you're playing a run in which you can't use spells like Town Portal and Lloyd's Beacon. Right, so the other main enemy type in this dungeon, aside from the, you know, employees of Ba. Oh, these are altars. I see. I picked up the gongs, but there was still something special, as indicated by the map. We'll come back to those later. Possibly they just give a bonus, but possibly there's a puzzle involved. It's another interesting bit of artwork. We haven't really seen anything like this anywhere else in the game, but this seems to be purely decorative.
Got it.
Again, more garbage. Okay. I'm actually gonna see what's going on with these altars. I think they might just give you Altar of Pain. Not sure what it did. Let me load my game. So let's look at our resistances. 31, 40, 30. So 40, 30, 35, and then 31, 38. 40, 30, 35, 31, 38. Our stats? Huh. Tell you what, we'll come back to this. I will actually, once I finish this dungeon, I'll look up what those do, just to confirm. Okay, yeah, I saved before interacting with it, which is good. There's a door that opens very slowly to reveal the last main enemy type in this dungeon. That is the devils, who aren't really much of a problem for us at this stage of the game. We can just cut them down with ease. Alright, I opened that door, but before I go in that section, I want to do a bit more exploration over here. We have more altars, it seems. Okay. No fire elementals, so shouldn't have any
Got it.
broken stuff yet. I'm not interested in any bless potion. I'll pick up gongs because, I mean, if we accumulate enough of them at 2,000 per gong, it'll pay for one level up. Let's look at it that way. It is crazy how expensive training has gotten, but that's just how it gets at this late stage of the game. And remember, it would be even more expensive without me having had the foresight to give everyone the merchant skill. Alright, do I want to go down? I think I want to turn around and go this way first. Let's just go around the outside as much as we can.
Oops.
Okay. Okay, you guys. I could hear their sound effects, but couldn't figure out where they were. Turns out they were behind us the whole time. Okay. Again. Let's pick up all these gongs. Shrine of Water. We'll see what to do about these shrines after we are done. I don't think the shrines would be involved in the puzzle to finish this area and get memory crystal, the remaining memory crystal, which probably a beta. I'll look it up in the quest log in just a moment as soon as I kill this thing. Alpha. Alpha is the one in the Supreme Temple of Ba. Again, picking up gongs. Careful not to click on the altars, which we will be saving for the end. This is an interesting arrangement of rooms. As you can see, even priests of Ba, which are the highest rank of that type of enemy, are often dying in a single hit. Okay,
Good as new.
here's how it starts. Our stuff getting broken. Okay. Is there anything inside these rooms, or I guess some of them have items on the floor? Okay. See, even with
Fixed.
our repair skills sorted out and every character being able to fix their own items, it's still
I don't know.
really annoying.
Aha!
If it was enchanted, I would pick it up. Come on, do some of your big hits.
All right,
We took him down anyway.
I don't know.
This should be worth something. Oh, that's actually pretty good. I don't think anyone's going to be using that because I think our amulets are pretty well sorted.
We got it.
But it's good to sell. Come on. Big hits, big hits. Well, big hit right at the end. That was good. Torchlight. Hilarious. Okay. Let's continue. Alright. What was that on the ground? Some gold. Sure, we'll take it. What is... I think this might be one of those situations where there are going to be... like, these flying enemies that are going to become active as soon as we venture into the center of the room. At least that is my suspicion. And, this guy's gonna take a while to take down at range, and slow because of all the enemies that are taking their turns. Uh-oh. I need to be careful, because I think I might have, okay. So remember when I said at the beginning that I looked one thing up? The reason why I said uh-oh is related to that thing. I think we are safe. We see the memory crystal there in the background. I hope I haven't messed this up. If I have, I'll figure out something else. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's okay. It's nothing big. It's like it's not something that ruins the game or anything. It's just something. It's something like an Easter egg. Okay, let me just save the game again. Going this way, and it looks like there are flying enemies, and we have switches as well. This is going to be a switch kind of switch puzzle situation. Hitting that switch did what? It retracted that gate, extended this one. Okay. Counting the bodies, nothing so far. If we move inside the room, more enemies have spawned. We found memory crystal alpha, meaning we are ready to leave, but I'm not ready to leave yet. Uh-oh. I think I might have messed up the thing that I wanted to see. If it's possible that I either read the map wrong or am remembering it incorrectly. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kill these enemies, then I'm gonna repair my things. Then I will once again consult the map on my phone. Alright. Let's go out of turn-based mode. Let's end that. Let me look at my phone. Let's just do that quickly. Okay. Annoyingly, the way the way that the site that I'm looking at has laid this out makes it difficult to be on the same spot you were when the page reloads. So what I'm actually gonna do right now is I'm gonna put this game on pause, and I'm just gonna see whether I've messed something up. Alright, I'll be back with you in just a bit. Okay, taking the game off pause because I have not messed it up. So what I'm gonna do now, this is gonna seem odd, but you will soon understand why I'm doing this. I am gonna set a beacon right here, in the room where we just picked up our quest item. And, you know, for no particular reason, let's just go somewhere, anywhere. The main thing is to just go outside of this dungeon. Now let's recall this beacon. Immediately, let's go into turn-based mode. What do we see in this room? We see 3 enemies. Now this is very... don't read the bottom of the screen. Wait for me to reveal it in the proper dramatic fashion. We see 3 enemies there. Devils as usual, and what appears to be a regular Priest of Ba. But if you hover over it, you will see that it is actually Slicker Silvertongue. That is correct. It is the council member who was refusing to let us go to the Oracle. The person who, you know, Wilbur Humphrey failed to successfully conduct a background check on, and who turned out to be the traitor who was trying to sabotage our plan to fight the devils. Indeed, that man, after fleeing from Freehaven in that lovely little, you know, voice-acted, you know, full-motion cutscene, has now turned up here in the Supreme Temple of Ba. In addition, he appears to have, you know, I think he had some facial hair in his earlier pictures. Well, that's all gone. He is now clean-shaven, and indeed, he looks exactly like any other priest of Ba. And this is the reason why I said I was looking up the layout of this dungeon, is because the first... Excuse me, did the devil do that? I guess the devil must have done that, because I can't think of anyone else, unless Silvertongue has been given this ability. So the reason I looked this up ahead of time is because this party rather, is doing a lot of area of effect damage, and some of it can stack up really quickly, especially with double shot from carnage arrows. And the first few times I beat this game, I came through this dungeon, I didn't even know this guy existed, because I killed him through splash damage on other targets. And when you shoot a target, the only thing that displays at the bottom here is the name of the target you actually hit. And if things get killed by splash damage, they won't show up here at all. Usually it doesn't really matter, but in this case, it's very easy to kill this guy with splash damage and not even know he's there. And I think the reason why he wasn't in the room, and why he was when we came back, is because after we inadvertently alerted the whole room with one of our carnage arrows, I think he just walked out and fell down. I think that's what happened. And then doing the area transition put him back in the proper place. Well, you know, with all of that out of the way, it's time to say hi once again to our old friend, Mr. Silvertongue. And what better way than to give him a respectful greeting in the language of his own religious institution, something we learned from Andover Potbellow in the very start of the game. So to you, Mr. Silvertongue, all I have to say is, Ba, friend. And that is that. Okay. So that was the big dramatic reveal that I was building up towards. I think you'll agree that even though... well, I'll just confirm to you that he doesn't have any special objects on him. It's just gold. But since he's unique, I want to leave him lying there. The other thing we can do now that we've done this is we can continue the switch puzzle. Now that will reset the switch from over there to over here, giving us access to this room. And over here, what can we do? It, I think, brings the switch puzzle full circle because this is where we came from. So not a difficult puzzle at all. All right. Let's just save the game in a new slot. Why not? And now let me just make sure nothing is broken. Of course, things are broken because these are terrible enemies that we're fighting. Okay, nothing else is broken. All right, let's continue saving, and let's set a beacon here. Let's actually go to town and get some healing back, or get some mana back rather, because currently Zoltan has lost all of his magic. And that's not good. Not that we necessarily need him to cast magic offensively, but if we do an area transition while we're waiting for Alexis to recover from her beacon, having him around to cast Town Portal makes things a little bit quicker. Having cast that beacon, let's save once again, and let's fall down. Is there anything down here? Nope, there isn't, but as you can see, you will get killed very, very quickly. Does Water Walk help? I don't think it does, but let's just let's just try it. The reason I want to fall down is because I want to map out the bottom. Oh, are we taking falling damage? Is that what's happening? Maybe if I... Because we have Featherfall active. Yes, we do. So I'm gonna hug the wall. Okay. So I think we mapped out that part of the map. It was at a steep cost because 3 of our people are dead. Came close to a full party wipe.
Good as new.
But
Good as new. It's fixed.
the only thing that happened was we had to repair our armor.
Be with you.
Let's just make sure everyone's at the same level of experience. Yep, no one's lost any experience. So that's fine as well. We've mapped out the bottom for whatever that is worth. I mean, no doubt it's worth very little, but to people like me, it does matter a little bit. Now, the only thing we've got to do is explore the rest of this place. Ooh, haste is about to run out. Let's fix that up right quick. And as you can see, we already have a green indicator, meaning large parts of this dungeon are completely clear. This, in fact, isn't that huge a dungeon. It covers a lot of area spatially, but it doesn't really... I think there's another possibly switch situation going on below us. Before we do anything with that, let's go all the way across the bridge and find out what's in here. We have more gems. Possibly more gems. And let's see, we get something else. That's useless, that's useless, that's useless. One more gem to sell. And while we're on the subject of gems, we currently have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different gems, which as far as I know means we have one gem of every type. And if I'm missing any, let me know. I am, of course, relying on lists compiled on the internet for the different objects in the game. I think that's one of every type. At this stage, all we have to do is just kill everything, and the map is telling us that something is special about this bed. Clicking on it gives us... Sure. I guess I'll enchant that, and I guess it's made it barely good enough to keep for selling purposes. Alright, let's continue. What's over here? That is not even worth picking up. Let's continue. They're gonna be... Okay. This is so narrow, and again, because of the lighting in this game, it's hard to... It can be hard to visually orient yourself, because... Like, even at something like this, it can be hard to know that this is a corner that you can just walk across. Whereas if there was lighting, you would know immediately. And usually that's just gonna be a hindrance in terms of missing secrets, but as you saw just now, sometimes it can, in narrow corridors, make it hard even to simply walk through the area. Alright, let's carry on the good work. And by the good work, I mean the mass murder of everybody in this building. Okay, again, I'm having trouble understanding where I need to go. I think we've got some more gems over here. That's useless, that's useless, that was something... Okay.
Not here. We can't rest here.
Enemies are close, but not immediately accessible. I'm guessing enemies are going to be in this part of the map. Okay. And how do we get to that part of the map? Well, first of all, there's sacks full of food, and there's this thing going up here. There's a... Oh boy. Again, narrow corridors. And I think this chest might be a fake chest.
Got it.
I mean, it opened up the... I mean, it was a real chest in the sense that it opened, but as you saw, it was empty, and all it did was it triggered the wall to come down and threw us into a fight, which would have been much tougher had we come here, let's say, 50 levels ago. But to us is fun, to be sure. I do like fighting enemies that can take a few hits before they die, because it does make the combat a little bit satisfying. Also, provided that they don't have any really obnoxious special abilities. Take you down, and you down. Okay. Now, okay. Map is getting a little bit difficult to read. We need to somehow get in there, and it seems the way to get there is from like this kind of situation. I guess. Oh boy. I guess we need to. Do we need to go down? Do we need to drop down? Okay, let me... Before I do anything stupid, let me set a beacon. Let me set a beacon here. And let me then drop down like this. And... No, I think we needed to go further up. So let's look up, and indeed it looks like there's stuff above us. Possibly you can get there from... Oh, being there normally. I was trusting that I had judged my jump distance there correctly, and luckily for me I had, or else we would be dealing with that deadly lava once again. Come on. Come on. Come on. Okay. I think there are more fire elemental enemies. Okay, let me zoom the map out a little bit. Okay, more enemies have made it apparent to us that they are here. Oh, okay, maybe not fire elementals, maybe just devils? Okay, that is the first status effect we've seen so far, and we're getting a green indicator, which may mean that we are done. But if that's the case, that would be very quick. Aha, secret door.
Got it.
And finally we find a good chest. This is where they'd been hiding all the good stuff. And by the good stuff I mean a couple piles of gold and one chainmail. And is there anything in here? I mean, this looks to me to be just an empty room. Let me just make sure I'm not missing out on anything. Yeah, looks empty. Now let's take a look at the map. Does any part of the map look unexplored? Very obviously this part. Okay. So let's return to the center, because this seems like a kind of hub area from which you can go to different parts of the map. Now, how would you get there? I think you would just go straight from here, right? And... oh, there is more. There is more. There very obviously is more. There's, however, like, how would you get to these spots in the map? Let's see if we can... ah, there's this as well. There's quite a bit that we haven't explored. So let's actually... let's go this way and see what awaits us. If we're lucky, this is going to be a door that goes this way and finds more things. If it's only devils, I'm fine with them shooting at us, because at least they're not going to be breaking our stuff. Okay, more of them. Okay, once again we have a green indicator. However, we also know that there are spots on the map that we haven't been. So let's think about how we might access this. I guess it was that simple. I guess it was that simple. And
I don't know.
what's this?
Ah.
Useless. Okay, what's inside here? Something on the ground. Well, we solved the mystery. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this video on pause, and while I'm on pause, I will confirm whether we've killed everyone in this dungeon, and also I will look up what to do about those altars. And once we're back, we will solve those, and yeah, we're gonna call it good. But before that, I've gotta do all that checking, so I will see you in a bit. Alright, so I've walked through enough of this dungeon that I can confirm that if there was an enemy, they would have lit up the yellow indicator, but so far I haven't. Okay, and this is the wrong room, but I have set up a beacon in the actual correct room. So I looked up how to do this puzzle because it's kind of convoluted. I'm not really convoluted, but it's not obvious, and as far as I can tell, there's no hint as to what to do. Now, the way it was described to me is that this will give elemental resistances to one character, and since Roderick's resistances are looking the lowest, I'll give them to him. So what we want to do is, let me just follow it exactly the way it's described, although sorry, hit my phone on the desk. The way it's written here is that you press the altar of pain, cold, and fire. So let me just save my game again. Pain, cold, and we get some acknowledgement text as well for each of the altars, and then we have to visit the 4 elemental shrines, which we saw a couple of them. Alright, so let me just see. Again, I'm gonna do these in the order that they're listed here, but I suspect that order will not matter. But just to be on the safe side, let's do this one first. Shrine of Earth. So your Earth, I mean, maybe that's gonna be poison? We'll see. That's giving you magic resistance. Sure, that's fine. Now we go here. Shrine of Air has given you air resistance. And the last 2 are, I think, along the rooms at the bottom. Water has given you cold resistance, and I think this should be the last one. Okay. That has given you fire resistance. What is the time? It's 10:20. Which is too late to do anything useful. We don't have that much to sell, so I'm not gonna bother with that too much. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna bring myself to Freehaven. Now, we've beaten that dungeon. It was by far the most fun of the 4 that we've done for these 4 crystals. And I did them in the order that I did for that specific reason. So we started out with Castle Darkmoor, the least fun. Then we did Castle Alamos, better but still frustrating. Then we did Castle Kriegspire, which was a lot of fun. I had very little negative to say about that. In fact, I can't think of any specific thing that I didn't like. It was just a lot of fun. And then we did the Supreme Temple of Ba, which is by far my favorite. And it also wasn't one of the most complicated. So it goes to show that you don't need to go overboard making, complex systems of passageways and unreadable maps in order to make the game engaging. Sometimes just a normal amount of complexity coupled with just good design. Like, I really liked that thing with the pillars in the end and that central room with all the ways branching off. I liked that part of it. I loved that Slicker Silver Tongue was there. We got a bit of a final cameo from him. Although if we ever want to talk to him again, we could always just go back and resurrect him. Now we have these 4 memory crystals. What I'm gonna do is, well, before I go to the Oracle and put these in, I'm gonna find out where Lawrence is, and I'm gonna sell these gongs to him. Okay, if I can... God, there's just so much in Freehaven. Okay, come on. Okay, I found him. He is... like, he's somewhere in the center, but I always forget where exactly. So somewhere in here should be Lawrence Ailman.
Greetings.
Is it you? No.
Hello.
It's you, okay. Let's sell all these temple gongs, and now, finally, with the 4 memory crystals in our possession, let us go to the Oracle. And let us put them down on those receptacles. Everyone's still giving us the thumbs up. I guess they've just been sitting here like that the whole time. I don't know, like, I feel like my hand would get pretty tired after a while, but you never know. Maybe they've just got really strong thumbs. I like how it lights up when you walk in. It's very true to how lights often work in many office buildings. I've definitely worked in places where the lights will go off. I mean, they'll come on when you enter a room, but if you're standing or if you're sitting too still, literally the light will go off. And then I'll have to get up and walk around to cause the light to come back on. And we're gonna place down the memory crystals. We'll just go clockwise. Why not? And we're gonna get 100,000 for each crystal we place down. We just placed down Alpha. I don't think it matters which one you place them on. I think for each one of these receptacles you click on, it will... You know what? Actually, I'm gonna test this. I am gonna test this. Because why speculate when you can perform a scientific observation? So with all of them in our inventory, it takes out beta. So, and if we throw beta out, meaning we don't, and that's an interesting graphic of it lying on the ground. If we throw beta out, it will then take delta. Okay, so it doesn't matter which one. It will just check whether you have a crystal of any kind. My suspicion was correct. It'll check whether you have a crystal of any kind, and it'll, I guess, in order alpha, beta, delta, gamma, it'll look for crystals in that sequence. Oh, and now that we've loaded the game, I think the power has gone off. So before we throw down the final crystal, let's make sure... I see we're walking in here, but it's not lighting up. So I guess the game doesn't remember upon saving whether the power's on or not. Power off? Well, we clicked on it and it said power off. Now we clicked on it again. So maybe it remembered that the power was on, but it didn't remember that the lights should have also been on. But anyway, I think this was the last crystal we had to put down. Okay, and we got 100,000 experience for each of those. 400,000 in total, a truckload of experience, although really it only will give us a few more levels. Now let's go down and talk to this freaky little thing again.
I've been expecting you.
And I don't know if you heard that, it was there the first time as well, but the Oracle says, I've been expecting you. That's the same thing that the Seer says. So that's really interesting. What do we have now? We have a quest to go to the control center. This I am actually going to read in its entirety, because this part of the lore is actually very interesting to me. The rest was kind of the kind of thing that you could see in any fantasy game. This is important. So I'm going to read this. I am Melian, Guardian of Enroth. Thank you for replacing my memory modules. Archibald took them from here when I refused to give him any help in his battle for succession. So yeah, tying back to Heroes 2. Your timing is impeccable. The Kriegen have invaded our world. That's their word for the devils. You must try to stop them. Unfortunately, Archibald's attempts at extracting information from me have damaged me enough that I cannot help you directly now. Instead, I can only give you advice. While most of the Kriegen can be slain with ordinary weapons and spells, the elite guard and upper echelon breeders have tougher skin and natural defenses that protect them from anything but very powerful weapons. In the planetary control center beneath me are the weapons and the armor you will need to survive battle with the enemy. My orders, however, will only permit passage to someone with a control cube. My instruments tell me that the only control cube left in Enroth can be found somewhere underground in Dragonsand. Now, I guess the quest log kind of spoils it for us, but if we thought back to what we saw in Dragonsand, there were really only 2 interior locations in that place. And one of them was an Easter egg, so it really doesn't even count. The New World Computing quote-unquote dungeon. So the only other place in Dragonsand was the Tomb of Varn, which we only stepped into briefly when we were hunting down a djinn to get its bounty. Our next stage in the main quest is to go back there and find the control cube. Now the Temple of Varn, the Tomb of Varn is another really great dungeon. Again, let's turn off the lights before we leave. I am really looking forward to it. I let my spell lapse. It's okay, let's just go back to New Sarpik. I'll grab a heal. Sure, let's grab a heal.
Can we assist
So,
you?
as I was saying, I'm really looking forward to the Tomb of
Be
Varn.
with you.
Before we do anything else, let me just refresh all of our buffs. Again, keep interrupting myself, but as I was saying, I'm really looking forward to the Tomb of Varn. But before we go straight there, there are a few other objectives that we have. We're getting towards the end of the main quest, but there are things that we have been meaning to do that we simply have not done. 3 main things. 2 of them which I've already talked about. We haven't done anything with the circus yet. we haven't done anything with the arena yet, and the objective that I imposed on myself midway through the series, we haven't gotten all of the fountain notes yet. We've gotten some of them, but not all. So what I'm gonna do is I will now start putting those objectives in between main quest objectives, meaning I'll do one of those extra objectives. Oh, the other thing we haven't done anything with the obelisk yet, so we're definitely gonna do that. So in between the few main quest missions we have left, I'll be doing those, starting with fountains in the next episode. It'll be fun. It'll give us a chance to travel around Enroth. We've gotten all of our beacons set. We've gotten the town portal spell as well. It'll give us a chance to just do some sightseeing in a nice, relaxed way, and also give us a chance to fill out this part of our notebook, our journal. That'll be what we're gonna do in the next video, and I think on that note, with this quest done, with the 4 kind of, I call them endgame dungeons, but they really are only dungeons that put us into the endgame. With those 4 dungeons done, with the memory crystals retrieved, and with our new stage in the quest given to us, I think it's time to end this video. As I said, next time it's gonna be all about fountains. So it's gonna be a nice, chill video. Don't expect a lot of action in that one. But yes, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll join me for that one. So until then, take care.